Fespa 2013 was set to be the big one, and sizable it was. Filling most of London's XL, it claimed some 22,000 unique visitors, with 40% from the UK and 15% from outside Europe. Remarkably, 42% said they were coming for the first time, demonstrating that the graphic arts remained buoyant against other print sectors. London wasn't the right option for everyone, though. Exhibitors did criticise the expense of the venue and the city, but British printers did make their way, and many lauded the visitor experience at the XL. The crowd may have thinned significantly by Saturday, but Fespa delivered a broadly successful event in a print sector that is becoming ever more diverse and complex. European Sign Expo was meant to be the big addition to this year's show, but fell sadly a little flat. Fespa had purchased the remains of tanking digital signage event Screen Media Expo earlier in 2013 and tried to combine it with the traditional signage element. Larger vendors, such as UK Point of Sale Group, stuck in the main area instead, but there is plenty of room for this show to improve, as Fespa Managing Director Neil Felton explains.
The feedback for European Sign Expo was very, very good. We've got things that we can always do better, but we've already got quite a bit of re-sign happening for Munich for next year. And I think people appreciated the fact that you've got a visual communications print show alongside a visual communications digital signage show and traditional signage. So for me, it was a good start, and you're right, from small things, big things grow.
Screen printing still represents a major part of the floor plan, as does garment production, with both areas retaining major exhibitors and reasonable footfall. There was concern that Fespa might have had too many feature areas, which included educational and business development sessions, but not so, says Fespa.
We haven't overextended because putting on the features is why we have a separate team for it. So we've certainly got lots of choices for people to make when they get here. But I think that at the end of the day, we need to educate. We're not about making money from the industry, we're about reinvesting the money back into the industry. And so therefore, education is a key part of that.
Whatever you think of Fespa, it always has the pulling power to bring the major vendors to the floor. More than 120 launches took place at the show, from the commercial availability of Mimaki's new latex inkset and solvent UV engine to the Inconcept Q40i presented by Fuji. The Osei brand was fully integrated with Canon for the first time, with a new breed of Arizona, the 600 series, pitching to retain its dominance of the flatbed market, while in substrates Hexacomb flew in with its honeycomb core Fulcrum board, with its USP of full local recyclability. Business is always on the agenda at Fespa, with HP shifting its first Latex 3000 to Kent-based Press-On Digital, and Durst reporting sales of its row platforms to McGowan's in Dublin and to Debenhams. But what of the trends? UV curable technologies were certainly in full maturity at Fespa 2013 and in strong evidence at the behemoth EFI stand. Between the Pin and Cure technology displayed on the HS100, thermoforming on the new Vutec QS platforms and the prevalence of LED curing throughout its product line, EFI was determined to prove a next-generation vision of this market. Agfa's Jeti Titan X flatbed with fast inkset switching complemented its entry into industrial textile with the 3.2-metre Art Deco dye submachine, while MTEX positioned itself as the go-to, high-productivity direct-to-textile vendor across a range of fabrics. For many, the real battle at Fespa was in software and process control. Version 2 of GMG's production suite aims to take the fight to Caldera, introducing an entry-level product that can scale to include advanced nesting, step and repeat, and colour versioning options, while Caldera's Flow Plus matured with integrated reporting and control functionality, plus WebShop, an intelligent web-to-print module designed for wide-format product types. This sees the French manufacturer square up to both EFI's dominance in the MIS area and Agfa's launch product, Artrix. Wide format is getting narrower, as Mother would say, and we witnessed this in the presence of Memjet, Kip and Xerox on the floor plan. Plus, if you thought EcoSolvent was done and dusted, think again. Roland, Muto and Mimaki all had launches in this area, proving that this chemistry remains a mainstay of display production. For the output team, it was, as ever, a busy affair. Our experts were on the floor asking all the pesky questions, except for when we were leading the charge online, holding tweet-ups, relaunching our Talk Print social platform with Mimaki, and being first to the punch with live news throughout the show. After some consideration, we had to split Best Stand between Fujifilm's beautifully designed, colourful structure and Cornet's full, bold, end-to-end production of t-shirts benefiting the Rainbow Trust Children's Charity. Fespa had a fascinating technical edge to it this time around. From novice to geek, there was something for everyone. Bringing markets as broad as exploratory inkjet and superwide together is no mean feat, and while Fespa needs to make sure its diversity doesn't loosen its focus, should we now be talking about the big 3 print shows rather than the big 2? Neil Felton has the last word.
I'm not really looking at Drupa or IPEX. The most important thing from our perspective is to focus on what Fespa do and get that right. And we need to make sure we get better and better and better. And if we keep on striving for that, then it doesn't matter what happens with our rival shows.